If any character steals the scene from a horror film's villain, then someone probably should have been fired. And this is a list of the characters who did it best. This is my list of the top 10 best horror movie heroes. I am almost always rooting for the villain in a horror movie. Almost. It's these magnificent bastards that get me cheering for the other side. Before we begin, I do apologize. An actual villain from a previous list made it onto this list, and somehow, I don't give a fuck. Honorable mention since I wanted 12. In this first-person monster mash, our camera wheeler, HUD, serves up one-liners that I did not order. But the dude can at least point the camera at what I want to see. He's already better than any of the witch projects. A flaw of handheld horror is that the dumb shit wielding the camera ends up babbling in stereo since the mic is basically strapped to their soon-to-be cracked skull. At least HUD entertains me until he's killed for no reason. It was an open secret that Quint had joined the hunt so that he could ride the big boy. Every kooky village dweller from Scooby-Doo has been wrapped up in this offensive ship captain set on making the 25-foot great white his next jockstrap. Quint looks like a dude who orders mail-order brides in bulk. Quint is like a Robert De Niro impression that went terribly wrong. Steering the boat like he's hot shit. Brody hunting for the kill, Hooper joined for the thrill, and Quint came for a nice solid shark. Honorable mention because I got nothing nice to say about him. If you were ever curious as to why Michael Myers walks so slowly, it's because he has to look around every corner to make sure this badass chick isn't waiting to stomp his fragile masculinity. Freddy chases Nancy, Chucky chases Andy, and Jason chases any movie extra that reminds him of his mommy. None of these dime store heroes show up to battle like Laurie though. She'll suplex any motherfucker who looks in that window and still remains calm enough to put those two kids to bed. Incompetent? Check. Conspiracy theorist? Double check. Wearing a lead breastplate? Oh, you f***ing know he is. One could argue that this is one of the main villains, but since the other one is the Reaper, then f*** that. For me, Milton Dammers is the other hero in all of this. To be fair, Milton Dammers is the same character Jeffrey Combs plays in all of his movies, and yes, I want it. This suicidal mumbling twit will always be Peter Jackson's forgotten option to play Gollum. Dr. Loomis is the kind of character with exactly two expressions. One is deep concern while the other one is the middle of a stroke. I have the Halloween alum Laurie Strode on this list, but I cannot deny this Fox News version of Obi-Wan Kenobi his due respect. This guy is rarely wrong and never subtle. Horror film characters who witness supernatural phenomenon are often overcome with a kind of shame that prevents them from talking about it. Not Dr. Loomis. He'll grab your lapel and scream babble everything crazy his drug brain can think of. The movie Us sadly went from a wild ride to, oh, that's what the Wikipedia quote meant? However, the family's patriarch, Gabe Wilson, kept me laughing. This father is the kind of sucker who would have a bat taken from him mid-swing. He's got a super soft heart for strangers coming to kill his family. Though I knocked the movie Us around for that double character plot, I can't get past how much I love Duke Winston and Lupita Nyong'o's bickering. Their dialogue is more out of place than their daughter. Spoiler alert, if Us was slimmed down to a mom and a dad arguing during an apocalypse, then this movie could have been the funniest one all year. But no, Subway Monsters was the point. I came to watch a crazy daughter kill her family. I stayed because no, it wasn't. It was the mom. I found the commercials for this film misleading, and thank God they were. You see, they highlighted the daughter to distract from the mother torching her son for getting high. It's a bit more complicated than that, but I'll let Toni Collette's character Annie scream and cry it out for you. She is 50% of the dialogue, and that is in no way a bad thing. This film is, in my opinion, the darkest of comedies, and Annie leads us through this super sad and twisted world. Patrick Bateman is the kind of man who understands that you have to exfoliate the skin before you murder the prostitutes. The first of two chainsaw wielders on this list, Patrick Bateman is the anti-hero to end all anti-heroes. I mean, he'd literally kill them once he got a good look at their pristine periwinkle blue shaded diamond cut business card. Oh, he'd axe them with the comic section at their feet. This film follows a dude who does not do a single good or justifiable act. But since he's stuck in the 80s, we totally f***ing forgive him. When you think about it, Dale slew a bunch of freeloaders and snuck beer into a hospital. Man of the year as far as I'm concerned. Most of the people who saw this masterpiece were drawn to the pretty boy from Firefly. That's because he's the backup fantasy to Captain the Hammer is my p***. Who you really want is Dale. He's the overall sport and heartthrob with the voice of a 12-year-old and will play any board game you want while keeping you safe from his own collapsing cabin. He is everything you could ask for, minus any and all sex appeal. One moment he's pouring whiskey into a computer, and the next moment he's battling the fearsome man-walrus Wilfred Thick Bristles Brimley. No large diabetic land mammals are safe when MacReady's running the middle of f***ing nowhere exploration center. You can rush him with a pistol, or with the several extra heads you just sprouted. You can even try your shiv and insulin gun combo. This guy will put you into both comas. He knows no one's making it out alive, yet he's still determined to end up in hell only after the world is safe. Few people have traveled through time and won a free kitty. Well, Ripley has. Even fewer have battled the final form of Paul Reiser and lived. Ripley has, and none but this woman have been selected as Mother of the Year by an entropic acid sprinkler. Ripley takes feminism and shoves it up your ass for denying her the use of the company's forklift Gundam. Her case is the classic example of men questioning women about their ideas of not shooting acid bleeders. And she was brought back from the dead for, dear God, I don't know. Just don't make me watch the fourth one. Most movies have few redeeming qualities. Evil Dead has all of them. Most notably the greatest protagonist to ever dismember himself. That's right, it's the shit-talking one-handed double widower Ash Williams. If you didn't know this was gonna be my number one, you're not very smart. That's S-smart. You got that? Ash has the smolar that can impregnate a bevy of pandas and save their hopeless species. He's got an endless supply of one-liners and commands the only franchise not adding sequels to compensate for their stumpy dick. This stupid mother might have raised the dead by accident, but I'll never blame him. He is the greatest horror hero of all time.
You